live on the YouTube. Hopefully we are. Yes, we are. And hopefully that is quiet. And we are live. Excellent. Super. That means I can see the chat now if anybody actually decides to join it. So good evening, everyone. We are back with our, at the moment, yearly Up the Dale podcast. We don't seem to be doing many more than this pre-season one. But we are live. And as you can see, I'm joined, as last year, by third team captain Elliot Telforth. Evening, El.
And Jim, evening.
And new first team skipper, Mr. Daniel Turner. Good evening, Dan.
Evening, Neil. You all right?
Very well, very well. Well, we're going to stick to agenda as we've previously had it. Lots to talk about. We're going to do a little review of 2023. It was a pretty successful season, all things told. We're going to look at winter nets, new faces, obviously have a look at the 2024 season and what it holds for the three Saturday teams, as well as the restarted Sunday team and the T20s. Have a look at juniors and then some other bits and pieces, things like sponsors and club activities and stuff like that. So we'll kick it off with the 2023 season review. Might as well start with me first. And after going from Div 3 to Div 2, I think I'd said at the start of the season it was going to be one whereby we'd done the hard work getting out of Div 3, and I just wanted us to enjoy our cricket and see where we ended up. And that quickly disappeared out of the window when we found ourselves going pretty well at the top of the table. I think before the season started, between the three of us as the three incumbent captains back then, I think we felt that Div 2 would be a stronger division than what we'd experienced going up from 3. And as it turned out, it probably wasn't that different in terms of the split between a top group of teams and a bottom group of teams. So as it turned out, it was quite competitive at the top, but not competitive at the bottom. So it went very similarly as to what it did previously. We'd obviously had Harry come over to strengthen things in inverted commas, but the rest of the team was pretty similar to the season before. So obviously, not going into too much detail, we ended up just missing out on promotion. It was gutting, I must admit. We'd done a lot of hard work to get where we were, and those last few weeks, the downfall of our batting came to fruition, and I think we felt, whilst it was always our downfall, I think it just let us down at the wrong time. Unfortunately, one of those things. But yeah, just couldn't get over the line. In terms of you two viewing from the outside, would you echo those comments? Was there anything else that you, not going into detail on performances yet, I'll do that in a moment, but from the outside, anything that would
at the end of the season, didn't we, about how we'd been bowling teams out with the ones, been bowling teams out all season, and then when it come down to them last few weeks where the performances needed to be with the bat, maybe the people who'd previously been scoring well hadn't had a chance to score runs, chasing smaller targets or batting on worse wickets than the season before, because it was a very wet season, wasn't it? Very slow wickets, and I think runs were quite hard to come by in most places. It was a reasonably low scoring season. Then when you've got a big score to chase, you're out of practice. So you sort of fall down at the hurdle there, don't you?
I actually think it was a blessing in disguise, to be honest. I know I said to you either before last season, early on last season, that consecutive promotions might not have been the best for the club.
Yeah.
So to come where you came, I think was fantastic. and as I say, possibly a blessing in disguise that he didn't get promotion, because that's a big step from Div 3 to Div 1 in 2 seasons. I mean, best of luck to Danny. Hopefully you can do it this year. But I think you can jump too soon. And I think, Neil, to get where you got to is fantastic. I think realistically, if you'd have come mid-table, everyone would have said, great season.
It was a table of 2 halves, though, wasn't it? Was it anyone?
But every division is, damn it.
Teams could
Every division is a division of 2 halves. You saw that in Div 4. I saw that in Div 6. Every division was very definitely a division of 2 halves.
Yeah, I mean, I took on board all those comments, guys, and I can't disagree with them. I understand what you're saying, Elliot, and I think, in a way, I sort of do agree, and I even made those comments myself at the end of the season. However, what I will say is the way that the leagues have worked out, and the teams coming down from Div 1B into 2, and the teams coming up from 3 into 2, that Div 2, I know we're going to talk about 2024 in a bit. I think it's going to be a tougher league this year. And sure, Danny's talked about that, but I don't know whether that means that jump would have been too much, Elliot, and I get that. I don't think it really matters now.
It seems to be settling back down after the COVID season. Because I think a lot of teams went up that shouldn't have gone up, and a lot of teams went down that shouldn't have gone down. And I think it's sort of settling back into it now. Whereas Div 2 is going to be a lot stronger than what it was last season, 100%.
Yeah.
But
good. I mean, I think that's good, though. That's good. If you're playing on a more of a level playing field, it can only benefit you.
Yes. Yeah, it should keep you on that edge week in, week out, shouldn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not go delve too much into 2024. Obviously, just covering off some performances. Obviously, Ryan and Imi were magnificent with the ball opening up again. We had some good fillers in, Trigger coming in and helping with the ball. Dom performed well with the ball. G, unbelievable again for a veteran, still getting 30-ish wickets every season. G got us out of a hole on a couple of occasions with the ball last year.
73, I think it's miraculous.
He is. He's doing well for that age, isn't he? He is. Obviously, also, what I want to say is, obviously, the chat is open. Anybody wants to add anything in the chat, we will comment on it. Specifically, if it's Mick Brown. Last year, Mick was the only one commenting on the chat, but if Mick's watching, more than happy to take your comments, Mick. But yeah, so the good performances with the ball. Bat was a little bit weaker. Anis was the top run scorer. Ryan had some really good knocks with the bat last year.
And Dom towards the end of the season with the
Dom, that 50 partnership against Whittingham was a cracker. So it was a good all round season. I think if you look back on it, that's what I do echo with Elliot's comment. I think we should be more than happy with the performance. And the placing that we achieved after coming up from 3 the season before. So, all in all, decent season. So, Danny, over to you. Seconds, obviously, were the success story of
successful season. I mean, the podcast we did last year was a comment made by me of, well, we'll get promoted. We'll go up. I'd like to win the league, but there's some teams in there. But yeah, we're gonna push for promotion, try not to lose many games, and played our first game at Limerick and we're bowled out for 39. So it was a difficult start, but I think we won maybe 7 on the bounce from there. And I don't think it was ever out of our hands. We came close to throwing it away a couple of times, and the notable performances by a certain few people have pulled us out of some holes a few times, and it was successful. I think we lost 3 or 4 games to rain that I feel if we'd have played them games that were against lesser teams, we could have been a lot closer.
Yeah.
And we lost playing a game against Whittle, who were our closest into the second place.
Yeah.
If we could have played them and beat them, then we maybe could have had a closer chance to beat South Shore in the last game of the season. But if we were going to lose the league to anybody, I'm happy it's them guys at South Shore, a great set of lads, and for our twos to go up with them, they've got a nice 2 fixtures, albeit last game of the season at Watley Dale again against South Shore. So yeah, it was a very successful season.
Yeah, I again, what you said about the comment last season in the pre-season podcast, you were super keen to right the wrongs of the season before failing on the last day, and again, just going back to what we've discussed for the last couple of years, the level of consistency in the second team from an availability point of view, but also from a performance point of view, was really key, I think, wasn't it?
100%. I took your ethos from the season before the ones. I think you won the league. You won Div 3 with, I think it was about 18 players all season. And the twos, I mean, we had a difficult middle of the season before. And it was a lot of filling here and, trying to put 11 out and struggling to make teams, where this season I had a core 7. And that 7 stuck together all season with a few little changes here and there. But the lads coming up from the 3s and, the people helping out always performed, always did well. And had no complaints whatsoever. It was a very, very successful season. And I couldn't have asked for anything more from the lads.
I think we have to give a shout. I know we were laughing and joking before we came live, Danny, but I think we have to give a little shout out to Ayaz. Came to the club this year from Preston, and we played against him in T20s, and we knew he was a reasonable bowler. We weren't really sure what he did batting wise, but by God, he's been a bit of a hit. Runs, wickets, catches into the T20, giving it the 3 claps before he took the catch.
Him and Liam McCann bowled Bretherton. They took 7 wickets for 9 runs between them after we went off for rain. We defended 95, and that was Ayaz and Liam. He took a hat-trick at Wiffnell when they needed 9 to win with 5 wickets in hand. Then Mick Brown took the last 5 wickets for 6 runs, I think. He'd a 6 for 7 at Standish. He'd a 5 for against Darwin. He'd a 5 for against South Shore at their place.
Yeah.
Back onto ball where we defended 130. Yeah, he'd a 70 odd. He reverse swept somebody at Bretherton. He just came in and he just slotted straight into the team. He was absolute diamond of a man and a fantastic cricket player.
He'll be great at twos this season.
Yeah.
Stop stirring, Elliot. Stop stirring. Absolutely cracking lad as well. Got involved, and it was really good to have him down at the club last year.
There was a lot of performances with the bat as well at the start of the season in the second team. I mean, we were saying about it was a very wet season, not many runs scored. We were, I think, 3 times in a row we were putting, I think Elliot umpired one of the games, we were putting to bat, and 3 times in a row we scored over 200 with opening stands from Alex, McCann and Adnan of hundreds, 70s, 60s all season. It was great.
No, it was an exceptional all-round team performance, pal, and everybody contributed. Probably that was the thing that got you over the line, is the all-round team contribution and that consistency really shone through. So no, it was like you say, it was no harm finishing second to South Shore. They were the standout team in the division.
Great set of lads as well.
Yeah. So no shame in that, pal. But great result getting the seconds promoted from 4 to 3. Much what we needed, and unfortunately, Elliot, moving on to the thirds. Whilst we can say it was an absolutely fantastic season for the thirds, you fell into a little bit into Danny's wormhole from the previous season in terms of just falling short. But I know the pragmatic person that you are, you will say that it was a fantastic season let down by a bit of weather.
Yeah. Undoubtedly, I think because of the way that Div 6 is structured, you have blank weeks. Some teams have blank weekends and some don't, and so weather affects people. it affects people giving others the advantage. And if anyone's listening from Ray Green or Grey Tech or anywhere like that, this isn't sour grapes. Congratulations to both of you. You deserve your promotion. But the way the fixtures fell, it meant that we lost games. We were rained off when others weren't, and this, that, and the other. And you know, that's where I'm going. Had we played a couple of the games where we were rained off, where others have free weekends, I have no doubt we'd have won. Had we won, we'd been promoted.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that. Having said that, there were games we lost. We didn't lose many last season.
Yeah.
And without wishing to put you two down at all, if you look at the stats, the thirds were the best performing team.
Oh, yeah.
Three.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we really deserve promotion, to be quite honest. Like I said, I have no problem with Ray Green and Grey Tech. But God, I'm teed off that we didn't get it. I mean, going to Ray Green, having played them the week before at our place and been well beaten, we went to their place and trounced them.
Yeah.
You know, we were one of the top three teams in that league, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Was it not 2 weeks on the trot that you scored over 300?
I think in 3 games, we scored 1,100 runs. Listen, I've got to thank you two as well for that, because you didn't interfere with my team.
Yeah.
And I had good players. I had Ibby, who was scoring runs for fun, Imran, Vinny, who became a really good keeper, scored a ton himself. Barani taking wickets, Ishmael taking wickets, Maz, of course, taking wickets.
Yeah. I
took the odd wicket. You know, it was a great performance. Well, Iqbal,
yeah. Uncle Iqbal coming back and getting a century.
Did I have 6 tons this year? 6-7 tons this year?
Oh yeah. So when I've just done the honours boards that have just gone on the website, yeah, I mean, last year for you was ridiculous. You know, Vinny getting his maiden ton, Iqbal got a ton, Ibby got 2 or 3, Imran got 1.
Yeah.
Ibby averaged 90, didn't he?
Well, you know, Ibby was so unlucky in terms of the league awards. He was 1 innings off.
Yeah, 1 innings. He was by far leading the averages.
Miles ahead.
Yeah.
Fair play to Maz, who actually won the bowling award.
Yeah.
But we should really have had batting and bowling, to be quite honest. But again, like you were saying, Danny, referring back to what Neil had said the year before, consistency.
There was weeks last season where we could have sort of ransacked the third team when you were playing the better teams, and sort of between the three of us made decisions to, you know, if I was playing somebody slightly lesser, we'd even the teams out a little bit, and I think it worked a lot better with keeping that core team together in the threes as well.
I agree. And I thank you.
Because you get to know your teammates, you get to know who you're playing with, and what people are capable of and what they're not capable of. So, there's that. It makes a big difference to a team.
It's funny, before, Danny, you said you had a core 7. I think I had a core 14. To be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
Of lads that I could rely on, who I knew would not let me down.
Yeah.
Whatever. And they never did. Never did.
And that
everyone contributed.
And that has now obviously led on to what will happen this season in terms of numbers and players who we've got available. So we'll come to that shortly. So yeah, all in all, 2023, certainly for the Saturday teams, successful and lots of stuff to build on, more importantly.
And the T20 team had a notable win as well in Blackpool, didn't they?
Yes, good point, that man, and shouldn't let that slip. Yes, the 6 off the last ball by Liam went utterly viral on TikTok, 90,000 views.
Yeah, 100,000 views now,
so I keep joking to him that he's still not hit 100,000 yet. He's got, I don't know, he's got to do something else this season to better that.
I think he's 90,000 of the views, though, isn't he?
Probably, yeah, showing it to his mates. But yeah, no, absolutely superb, and yeah, what a way to finish. So that yeah, T20 always gives us a few fun and games and so bits and pieces to work with. Like, as I said, Ayaz's catch against St Anne's, which unfortunately we didn't get on camera, but you could hear the 3 claps as the ball was coming through the air to him. So that was quite good as well. So yeah. So moving on to this season, winter nets have been underway now, I think, for about 7 weeks, something like that. Going off my highlight packages. Superbly attended. I don't think we've had one. I think there was 1 week. Not commenting on you yet, Elliot. Don't worry. I think there was 1 week where, for some reason, there was like 8 or 9 people who couldn't make it, me included that night. But generally, I mean, I think we've had 20 odd for just about every week so far. So it's been really well attended. Off the back of winter nets, we'll move into new faces. So, as I mentioned earlier, last year we had our first overseas amateur, which was Harry Cousins. Great to have Harry over. He might not have had the season that he wanted on the field. Still ended up one of the best, highest scoring batters in the first team, which probably shows you the rank season we had with the bat. But off the field and just the whole experience, I know Harry really enjoyed it. You can stop smirking. It was a good experience for the club, though. Harry was really good with the juniors, good to have about the place, and really got involved in terms of the everyday commitment to the club and exactly what we wanted from an overseas amateur. So Harry's gone back to Perth. Unfortunately, he's took his phone with him, I think, and he won't like me saying that. I don't know, but we have got a new Aussie coming over for 2024. He is a 18-year-old guy from Canberra called Xavier Bros.
Xavier.
Tomato. Come on. And he is from Western Districts Cricket Club in Canberra. They play in the ACT Premier Cricket, and he flits between first and second grade at Western District. In fact, he was playing second grade this weekend, and they've qualified for the semi-final of their grand finals. So they're still ongoing and up and running in that. Zav is a top order bat, bats anywhere in sort of top 5, and can bowl a bit of leg spin, which is always nice to have a bit of filthy leg spin to break a partnership. I'm sure if Ernie watches this, he will agree entirely, seeing as that's what he made a career of. So we've got Zav coming over, hopefully early April. His dad's going to come over as well at some point, and is desperately trying to get a friendly game or something like that to play as well while he's over here. We've heard he's a decent batter, so he'll probably if Zav ain't doing job, we might just deregister Zav and get his dad in it at this rate, by the sounds of it. So yeah, new overseas, and we're looking forward to getting Zav over and getting him involved. Additionally to that, we've had some new faces show up at nets. One that looks full of potential, Danny.
Okay. Yeah. Very, very, very astute batter.
Yeah.
I think I sent him at 3 balls, and one of them was a slug back over my head. One was a forward defensive and a cover drive, and I was just like, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Quite a tidy bowler as well.
Yeah, he's a little bit more raw with his bowling than his batting. His batting, as I say, I think could be, especially in T20, when he hits a ball, it stays bloody hit. I'll give him that much.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so it's been really good to see Cave down. Friend of Aman, so we thank Aman for bringing him down. That's really kind of him. We had 3 new signings in the week. Saeed Alvi has signed from Preston. He's coming across off spinner and batter. Mahesh Reddy came down to see us on Tuesday night. He's a batsman as well. He's new to the area, so he's joined us. And Adnan brought down his friend Nadeem Patel. Looks a little bit of an all-rounder, keen to play Saturday and Sunday cricket. So again, good to add to numbers. And then, in addition to the new signings, we've also got 2 returning players. One who's been registered they've both been registered all along. But Mac Morris coming back. Danny, obviously.
It's more of a season-long injury, that though, isn't
No,
it?
that was, yeah.
He missed the end of the season before with a absolute shot at knee. He could barely walk. Last 3 games I think he played, he dug in and helped us out, but he struggled for the rest of that season. And yeah, he's showing interest in coming back, and I think he's keen to get going. Like. So yeah, it's good.
So Mac back will offer strength with bat and ball, and in the field for that matter. So and a bit of experience as well. So it's good to have Mac back. And Beth decided to ditch some work commitments, and I think she might be playing more Sundays. I don't know whether she'll be making herself available for Saturdays, but she's been coming to nets and back bowling something like she was when I captained her in second team many years ago. So
quite well in that. She's bowling really.
She seems to be getting a bit more pace back, which she lost a couple of years ago. So good to have them two back after spells away. So all in all, not massive amounts of new faces. Certainly not what we had last year, but off the back of what we were saying earlier in terms of numbers, we can only be happy with the numbers we've got on board.
Team each week now. Remember the thirds are in the third full season now. Fourth full season.
Fourth full season, yeah.
When I came over, I was helping out. I think I played under Mick Berry as captain in the thirds. I think I played 2 games. We played one of them with 7 or 8, and one of them with 9. So to go from lads not getting a game on a Saturday because we've got too many players, I think it's a massive plus for the club in strength and wise.
Yep. Yeah, couldn't agree more. And we'll come on to, I keep saying we'll come on to it, the reintroduction of the Sunday team off the back of that in this next section. So we'll move on to the main section, which is preview of 2024. We'll all get phones out now to see who's in what division. We'll start with the first, and obviously we've got the new first team skipper here. So, Danny, if you I'll run through some of the teams in the division. We said we think it's going to be stronger this year. I'll quickly run through the teams, and then if you want to give your feelings on where you see yourself standing in this division. So I'll tell you what, it'd help if I actually had the right year up. That's last year's tables. So Div 2 for this year. New team to the league, Hesketh Bank. That'll be an interesting one. Horton, which you faced last year. Kirkham and Wesham seconds coming up. We've had a rivalry with them for about the last 3 years on and off. Lancaster seconds, who also come up. Nice away place to visit. Longridge thirds we played last year. Norcross first we played last year. Penwitham seconds coming down because of the split with the third team. We don't need to go into that. Torrey's Home seconds played last year. Vernon's seconds played last year. And Ray Green first, who were also coming down. So, as we said, I think we'd all agree it's probably a stronger division than it was last year. A lot of the weaker teams are obviously either been relegated or Whittingham have been moved down a division because of ground issues. So, over to you, Danny. Obviously, I know you're fairly happy with the players that you've got available or that are from within the club that are available. What's your thoughts?
I genuinely feel that there was your first team from last season and then my second team from last season we both had such a good season because there was quite a good split of quality between the two teams, and there was arguably quite a few lads in the twos that would just step straight into the first team and perform. Alex McCann opened the batting for me all season in the seconds. There's an argument that he's a better batter than Division 4 opening the batting.
Yeah.
Adnan Patel is, in my eyes, one of the most talented batters I've seen in shot making and performance wise. He's one of the best bats in the club in my views. And I think with the merging of them two teams this season, I think it's going to be one of the strongest first teams we've had in a long time in batting, bowling, and in the field. Because of you both know my views in I think a lot of games are won in the field, and lads who give it 100%, I feel we can push for promotion. I'd be more than happy with 1, 2, 3. You know, it's I always set my targets high, but if you don't believe in yourself, then what's the point?
Agreed, Elliot. Have you got?
Sorry, Neil, what's that?
Did you say you had? Were you raising your hand because you had something to pick up on that?
No, Arsenal are beating Sheffield United 5-0.
Oh, 5, excellent. No, that's even better. Well interrupted, that man. Yeah, I mean, from just to pick up on that, Danny. Obviously, there have been 2 or 3 lads that have expressed, you know, like whether it's because of age or injuries and body, you know, age and injuries catching up with bodies, that have been asked to sort of not be considered for the first team this year. But as you say, the amount of consistency of performance and level of performance.
I don't think it wouldn't weaken the team at all with people slowing down and trying to take a bit more of a leisurely stroll rather than trying to compete at the top. So for me, the team, the first, because there's probably 19 people I could pick from. I've got in my phone, I've been looking at it, teams and like the balance of teams and stuff like that for the last few weeks. And me and my new vice captain, Alex Cuffin, have been talking about it on and off about should we select this player or this player, and I've probably got 5 different teams in my phone, and the batting orders could go from 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 could bat at 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You know, so there's the absolute spread of talent it's a good problem to have, but it's also a headache at times. But I feel there's we could put an 11 out every week. There'll be any team in that league.
Well, I go on to say that between you and Alex, there's probably 25 players that you could play across both sides.
Yeah, easy.
Which is great for me.
With us being one division apart, it's not a big gulf anymore. I mean, like people would worry about coming up from the 2s into the 1s if, say, the 1s were in 1B and the 2s hadn't got promoted. From Div 4 to 1B is a big jump.
Yeah.
From Div 2 to Div 3, it's nothing really.
No. You say that, but there's lads, there's lads playing in the 3s in Div 6. Play 2. Who could play 1s?
Yeah, Ibi Hussein played most of the season before in the 2s for me. You know, and he performed well. I think he got his first 50 with me at Wifnell the season before, and he grew in confidence. But then there's that scope now that he's formed with the bat in the 3s. He could bring up into the 2s as and when needed, or if Alex sees fit, then he comes up and
but not just
do a job.
There's Barani, Maz could play 2s, Imran could play 2s, Vinny could play 2. Yeah, you know, it's.
They all played in the 2s the season before, and we just missed out on promotion. So
absolutely.
The talent spread that trickles all the way down through the club.
The strength in depth.
Yeah.
I mean, they say this in football, don't they? You look at your Premier Leagues, it's the ones with the best benches that go on to win. And I think that's the position we're in, that we have a strong first, second, third, and now, and we're coming on to it, I know, Neil, now a strong Sunday team as well.
Yeah.
Because, you know, at the end of the day, we can only put 33 people out on a Saturday.
It was difficult last year letting people down.
Absolutely.
33. So the choice of giving them a Sunday now, somebody playing in the Sundays instead, gives them a chance to perform and prove themselves to move up through the teams. There's going to be challenging for places in every team this year.
Yeah.
If people don't perform, we're not scared to change things up, are we?
No, and from our point of view, that's what we want. I know from the individual's point of view, it might be slightly frustrating, but now that we have that option, because the Sunday team's not going to be that's going to be a tough cricket.
Sunday league cricket's always competitive around here because they always stack the team with lads who aren't performing on a Saturday at the minute, and you'll get first teamers, second teamers coming in playing Sundays, and you'll turn up and one lad will get 150. You know, you've got to play against them, so it's.
I don't know how many are watching at the moment, Neil, but the message is that, you know, 44 lads potentially are going to get competitive cricket over a weekend this season.
Yeah. Which can only be good for a club.
Lads and lasses, sorry.
Yes.
Politically correct. Yeah.
So just bringing it back to first, Danny.
Yeah.
Give us 2 or 3 teams from that division that either you're looking forward to playing, whether it's a ground to go to or whatever, or who you think will be challenging you.
I feel the 2 that come down, Penrith and Twos, because they're going to have a point to prove with the thirds being relegated from winning the league anyway. I think they'll come in with a point to prove, and if that third team mix together and they build a stronger team, they'll be competitive.
Yeah.
St Anne's are always a good side. It's a nice away day, right in the middle of the season as well. So we play.
Yeah, we were unlucky last year getting it last game of season. It was dull and dank and soft and
we play them first game of the season at our place, so then we play them slap bang in the middle of the season at theirs. So that's always a nice ground. Lancaster Twos.
Yeah.
Lancaster, they're first to a Northern League outfit for many years, so they've always had talent. Don't know what Hesketh Bank are going to bring.
It's the unknown quantity, isn't it? That's the unknown one in there. So
yeah, Norcross always a good set of lads, but there's talent in the. I know the second team have struggled for the last few years. I captained against them at their place the season before. They struggled to get 11. I mean, we lent some fielders, but their first team has always been a talent. They've always been there and thereabouts. They'll win a few games. But yeah, I think it's competitive all the way down.
It is. Well, good luck to you.
I do genuinely feel though that they will look at us as if they were all having these conversations, they'll look at us as one of the stronger teams in that league.
I hope so. They should do.
Well, they should do.
They should do. So first team, Div 2. Good luck to them. Let's see where they finish. Moving on to the second team, and we have a new second team skipper, Alex McCann. Came to the club a couple of years ago and obviously played all last season with yourself, opening the batting. He will lead the seconds in Div 3 in a new division. And I would say, looking at Div 3, that we were talking about a division that's a little bit split. I would say I'm not going to go naming teams because that's a bit harsh, but in my opinion, there's a selection of teams that are pretty decent in there, and there's a selection of teams that are beatable on their day. So I think that the seconds, because for all the reasons that we've talked about, have we lost him? Oh dear. We'll get him back in a moment. I think, Elliot, the seconds are in with a good chance of a very reasonable season.
Remind me who's in Div.
I'll go down for you. He's back again. I don't know why we lost you then. Did you hear any of that?
Not really, no.
Right, I just said that I think that the seconds are in for a reasonable season given the teams in that division. So we'll go through them.
You mean the split of talent in that?
Yeah, I would say I'm not going to say who because that's not fair on said teams. But so there's Eccleston seconds who we lost to in the Loxham last year, into the first team. But always, again, Eccleston went up to Northern League. So again,
captain this season by one Trigger Parkinson's brother.
Yes, so that'll be an interesting one. Exton seconds, who I think struggled. I think they're in a little bit of transition at the moment. I might be wrong, but I was watching their performances last year and a few different names in there to what had been when we played them season before that. So Gregson Lane went down from the first team's division last year. Grims are seconds.
Kind of look forward to playing them as well because that's his old club.
Oh yeah, of course it is. Alan Liam's old club. Yeah. Grims are seconds are always pretty decently strong. Leyland thirds obviously depends on strength throughout the club at any given time. Maudsley seconds, lovely ground to go to. Absolute cracker, Maudsley. Penwitham thirds, who obviously ended up finishing in top 2 in the first team division last year and unfortunately got relegated because of the plight of their seconds. South Shore first went up with our seconds, Tarleton seconds, Vernon's thirds, and Whittingham, who I would say got relegated in place of Torrizone because of their ground issues. So it's a good spread of teams. Some very nice grounds actually to go to in there. Tarleton, nice ground. As I say, Maudsley.
I mean, that sounds as competitive as our first team's division.
It'll be competitive, but I think there's probably, on the face of it, more opportunities for victories in there. Not belittling the first team. What I'm saying is, I think I don't think it's as competitive as the first team. No, I think there's winnable games in there personally. I might be proved wrong. I don't know.
There's a few teams in there that we played the season before in Division 4. So Tarleton and Vernon's. Tarleton's Vernon's threes. The season that we missed out on promotion, Vernon's threes won the league by a landslide. We beat them home and away.
Yeah.
Tarleton went up with them. They beat us home and away.
Yeah.
So I think it's still a league where anybody can beat anybody on the day. But again, the strength that we've got this season, I don't think there's many teams that will take a team to Vernon's threes who've got 4 or 5 lads who've got Palace Shield centuries.
Yeah.
So yeah, I still think we're very strong.
Yeah, I just think it's competitive, but I think there's opportunities in there for the seconds, especially if they carry the momentum from last season. And the lads who are maybe dropping down from the first bring some of that experience in. I think there's a good opportunity for let's just put it this way, a competitive season for the second team. Maybe going in with the same attitude that I thought we were taking the first into Div 2 last year. A little bit of pressure off. You've got that promotion now. Go and enjoy your cricket and just see where you can end up this season. And maybe that pressure off brings the same results as what the first had last year. And
well, enjoying your cricket normally provides a good performance, doesn't it?
Absolutely. So, yeah, it'll be good to see how the seconds go in Div 3. Bring up Div 6 for Elliot. I'll run through the teams quickly, Elliot, and then you can give me your feelings. There is some new ones in here. So, Blackpool Force, you played them last year. Charnock seconds, I think, came down from Div 5.
Yeah.
Croston seconds came down from Div 5. File thirds.
New,
yeah. Garstein thirds, new.
Yeah.
Gregson Lane seconds come down from Div 5.
Yeah.
Or did you play them last year?
No, I didn't play them last year.
No, I think they've come down from Div 5. Hesketh Bank seconds, new.
Yeah.
That'll be an interesting one. See where their level is. Kirkham thirds, you played last year. New Longton thirds, you played last year. Pemberton fifths, you played last year. Rufford seconds, you played last year. Vernon's fourth, same, and Wyre seconds. So all the rest are the same teams you had last year.
No blank weeks in Div 6 this year.
Oh, it's all right.
Mess.
Yeah, it is a mess because what the league have done is allow more teams in than they actually have. We cannot run a Division 6 where we just play each other twice. There's too many teams. There's not enough weekends.
Scottish Premier League style.
It's a split league. I'm not particularly happy about it. It's going to be a bit of a disjointed season in that respect. I'm not happy with comments I've heard from league execs saying that Div 6 isn't competitive cricket. It is very much competitive cricket. But I've no fears. I really have no fears. I mean, the only team we were beaten by last year that wasn't promoted was Rufford, I think. And that was
your first game, didn't it?
That was first game of the season when we ended up with 10 men.
Yes. Yeah.
So I've no problem with those teams that we played last year because I think I'm fairly confident my team will be pretty much the same as it was last year. If anyone from other teams is watching this, that'll put the fear of God in them because,
we'd say that we've strengthened at the top as well.
Yeah.
Your team's going to be similar to what it was last year. Other than players who've been playing winning Div 4 and higher, coming down into Div 6.
You go to clubs and they say, "Oh, are the same brothers playing? Is Brawley playing? Is Mouse playing?" You know, they know who we are. They know who we are.
Reputations beholders, though, don't they?
And so if I can keep my team, the core of my team as it was last year, I think we'll be the ones to fear, to be quite honest with you. You're right, Esketh Bank are an unknown quantity. We've got the teams coming down. Croston, from what I gather, I think Croston 2's new, aren't they, this year?
No.
No, from Division 5.
They came down from Div 5. Obviously, first team had a lot of players leave.
Aren't they? Croston, I think, are in transition.
Yeah, they've got a lot of juniors, I think, Croston.
Yeah.
I mean, they've brought through a lot of juniors, to be fair, over the last couple of seasons. And moved a couple of very talented lads into first team. And so, I think they're building from underneath that a little bit.
Yeah. I can't really speak about Greg Elena, who was the other one that came down as well.
Garstang.
Garstang are new. Down at St James, seconds.
Right, I've always enjoyed playing.
Did they get promoted season before and have come straight back down again?
Yeah, they went up the season before.
Yeah, I think so. And I've always taken wickets at Charlotte St James, so I'm all right with that. Good set, lads.
Yeah, the
bye for it, Charlotte.
Man, he's a good guy.
I'll have to say 7 for this year, will
I? Well, let's see how that pans out. Just to back up what Elliot said, for anybody that obviously doesn't know, Div 6 this year will run as a normal league, playing each other once until about June.
Halfway through, I think, yeah.
And then it splits into like a playoff style thing where the top few, I can't remember how many, is it the top 7?
Top half. Yeah.
Top half split off and play each other again.
Bottom
half split off and play each other again. So that's how it's going to work out. So as I said, the introduction of all the new teams means that it's skewed it quite a lot.
Getting promoted out of Division 6 to have a proper structured season in Division 5 next year.
Yeah, exactly. So as G always used to say about playing on school grounds and stuff like that, got to get out of this division. So
to be fair,
Wellfield 3 times at last 2 seasons.
But to be fair, we don't have any school grounds, don't think, this year.
No, I think that I was saying about nice grounds for Div 3. Actually, I think when I'd looked through, it was more Div 4.
Our second team play on Limerick twice next season.
Yeah, lucky them. You got Charnock, reasonable ground. Croston, very nice ground. Esketh Bank, we think's a reasonable ground.
Play out high school.
Rufford, very nice ground. So you've got some nice ones in there, El. Anyway,
playing at Kirkham Grammar.
Kirkham Grammar, obviously. Yeah, sorry, I forgot they play at Grammar. Yeah,
White Cup.
Yeah. White
Cup. Absolutely. So hopes are up, El. You think you can do it?
Listen, if we have the season we had last year, there's absolutely no reason why we shouldn't. And crying out loud, you've really landed me in it there, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And please, if anyone from any of those other clubs is watching, please don't take this as disrespect. I respect all the teams I play against. I always have a great time playing against all the teams. I'm always very respectful. We should win that league hands down, quite frankly.
This is until like 5 players leave before start of season.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I'm going to tag them down. I'm going to make them sign contracts.
No, that might be not a bad move, that. Right, so all 3 Saturday teams, good luck to them. Good luck to all the other teams in each of the divisions. I'm sure we're all hoping for a little bit better weather this year. And if we get that, I'm sure there'll be a lot of competitive games and a lot of good cricket played. So, good luck to all the Saturday teams. We've finally reached what we've been hinting at all night. Sunday team is making a comeback off the back of, as we've said, the increased availability. And there were lads last year that missed out on Saturdays that we think if there'd have been a Sunday team, they would have readily played in the Sunday team to get some cricket on a weekend. So we started the Sunday team back up. They will be playing in Power Shield Sunday Division 2 South. And obviously the good thing is, obviously it's not reliant on the same players week in, week out. Some of the lads from the first and seconds who, as you were saying, Danny, if they're either not in good form or...
if they want to go out and have a bat on a Sunday.
Correct. If it's a bowler who thinks he should be batting a little bit more, go and play on a Sunday and get that batting experience there and show what you can do. Absolutely.
It's what the bigger clubs have done for years.
Exactly. So, usual suspects in Sunday Division 2 South, Vernon's Coppice, who come back on a Sunday, as we have. Exton, New Longton, Maudsley, Croston, Leyland, Chorley, Darwin, Whittle, Gregson Lane, and Preston have got a second Sunday team.
And the joys of it is you get to play on the first ground.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, we're talking about playing on nice grounds. Most of those you should be playing on their main ground.
That's a competitive division.
It is. It is. And as you said, though, Elliot, we want it to be so.
Absolutely. So I think this comes down to me to say, rather than you and Alex, Danny, because it's lads who aren't going to be picked for the thirds who are going to be vying for the Sunday team. Don't think that playing for the Sunday team is harsh.
Yeah. But if you perform in the Sunday team, you stood front and centre for.
Yeah, that's right.
It's your choice then to progress through. If you perform in the Sundays, you get selected in the threes. You get looked at by the second team. It's on the lads to come down, net, show the availability, and
we talk about each team being competitive. We need each member of each team to be competitive, and if you're not performing, you can't argue if you don't get selected.
And
vice versa, if you are performing, you will progress. You will move up.
This season as well, with the introduction of a selection committee, your hands aren't tied by players who maybe have an argument of, I'm not being selected because I'm not at Nets, or I'm not being seen by this person, or this guy doesn't know who I am. There's a selection committee made up by a lot of lads in the club. So if you're at Nets and your face is seen and you're showing commitment, it'll come back in fruition. So I think it's a voice to give to all the lads this season that you earn your spot, you play your cricket, you do well, we all do well, we progress as a club.
But dare I suggest, Danny, as the captains, as third team, first team, Alex as second team captain, what we should be saying to the lads is we should be the ones who least deserve our place by merit. We're all in there as captains. It's the rest of you that deserve your place by merit.
I'd drop myself if I wasn't.
Well, and I've done that before.
I give myself the ball last year instead of batting.
Yeah, I've done exactly that. And that's not to say that we guarantee. Going on from what you're saying, that's not to say we guarantee our places as captains. We do. But at the end of the day, each and every player will deserve their place in whichever side they're playing in.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And as I say, I think the reintroduction of the Sunday team will just give so many more options,
opportunities to perform, put themselves in the shop window and prove the.
Following on from the Sundays, we have the T20 team up and running again. It's going to be led by Alex Cuffin this season. We should mention the Sunday team is going to be skipped by Trigger. Trigger Parkinson is taking control of the Sunday team. So we shall wait and see how organised that is. No comment.
He was roped into taking over the Sunday team.
I don't know. I think he volunteered quite readily at the AGM, actually.
Trigger, you're doing it.
I picked
What's that? All right, then.
Somebody raise his hand quick, yeah. But yeah, so Trigger's doing the Sundays, and Cuff's doing the T20 team. Group for T20 is tricky, in my opinion.
I think it always is.
Yeah, true. I think last year we had a couple of winnable games. This year it's a tough old group, but I think with the improvement in quality in the T20 team that we had last year, in terms of availability of better quality players for pretty much all the matches, if that carries on, then I think we should be all right. So we've got
Sloggers.
BAC Preston, who somehow are in Division 2, despite the fact that they're in Division 1 on a Saturday. How they're in Division 2 of the T20, I have no idea. Grimser, who I think we played just about every season in T20. Ingle, who we played last year. I think that might be their first season in T20. I don't know.
Yeah, I've not seen him the last couple of years.
Preston Strikers, another new team. And Whittingham, who we played, I think, well, certainly last year. We might have played them for the last couple of years. So it's a tricky.
Hamilton not in that one as well.
No.
Sorry, I thought
No, if you remember, we got moved about from a couple of different groups, so this is what they settled on. What are you pulling a face at?
I thought you said Whittingham twice.
No. BSC Preston, Grimser, Ingle.
I confused with Grimser and Whittingham, that's all.
Whittingham.
Yeah.
So, yes, so we shall see how they go, but again, we don't place massive importance on the T20, except the fact that it goes hand in hand with what we were saying. You try and build that form and carry that form into the T20, and hopefully that helps you carry that again on into the next Saturday. So it'd be good to see how everybody goes. We had some good laughs last season in the T20. Blackpool, the St Anne's game, there were some real good performances and some real highlights came from them. So it's always a nice sort of break between.
It's funny you should say that. You just mentioned two teams there, Neil, that you won against last year, St Anne's and Blackpool, who on paper are possibly stronger than the teams that are actually in the division this year. I know T20 is a different game, and I know that certain teams are more suited. You talk about Whittingham, you talk about Preston Strikers, who may have a game that's more T20.
Yeah, Whittingham 190 on against us last season.
Yeah.
Because they have a certain style.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go on. I'm not going to drone on about Whittingham.
No. We'll leave that one.
Yeah. But I think with a little bit more application, I think there's every chance that you can do well in that because we've not done well in T20, and yet I think this year with a bit more application, and I know that Cuff's the sort of person to apply the necessary application. I think you're right. I think you'll do all right.
I think availability has a lot to do with the T20. You tend to couple of games. If you win the first couple, everybody's keen to play, and then if it doesn't work out, people find we're not going to qualify or we're not going anywhere this season, and the availability drops off. So if people keep themselves available and keep a team together in the T20, I think there's a chance in like some of the opening bats we've got in Adnan, Ayaz, Cave coming into the club.
Ibby and Ran if they play, Ryan. You've got some explosive batsmen.
Yeah, because there's chance to score a lot of runs at most grounds there. So, yeah, I think there's a chance that T20 team does well, and I'll be watching on stream from my house.
Are you the umpiring?
Well, I'll umpire. I'm definitely not playing.
Danny putting a marker down very early here.
Fox down.
Well, that's all the teams reviewed, both Saturday and midweek and Sundays. So good luck to everybody. Hopefully it's a great season. We'll just discuss the juniors. We're once again running All-Stars and Dynamos this year. I don't think it's been officially announced yet, but I'll say it. We will be running a girls-only Dynamos sessions this year with a view, fingers crossed, hopefully next season, to starting a girls team up. So that will be the Dynamos for this year. We'll be running All-Stars as normal on Friday nights, as we have always done, very, very successfully. And the junior teams will continue. We will keep the under-10s softball as an introduction to competitive cricket from All-Stars and Dynamos. And the under-11s will be moving up to under-12s. Hardball cricket, which will be a new experience for them, because it's no longer pairs cricket, it's proper cricket. Win, lose, if you're out, etc., etc. LBWs. So it'll be interesting for the under-12s, but the progression that the juniors have shown over the last couple of seasons, and credit to everybody involved there, is magnificent. And ultimately we're driving towards our end game of bringing some of those juniors through into Sunday cricket maybe initially, and then into senior Saturday cricket. And Elliot, you've been involved in juniors at other clubs before and bringing those guys through. And, you know, we're reaching that tipping point now, which is exactly what we've wanted.
I think someone once said that garlic bread's the future. No, your juniors are your future. And, I mean, we've gone from virtually nothing in terms of juniors to where we are now. And I've seen some players who, maybe not this year, maybe not 2024, but they're in 2025, I think, like you say, could be vying for places. Certainly in the Sundays, maybe even in the threes. They may be 12 months away from it, but there's certainly some players there that I've seen who are progressing in that right direction.
Yeah, and as that's what we set out to achieve. And we as a club, without going down a route that I don't want to go down here in terms of discussions, we're progressing on all fronts, and we want to continue that progression.
Build a future for Waltley Dale.
And not just Waltley Dale as a club, but the community of Waltley Dale.
Absolutely, get that support from the community, supporting that, and it's a community asset. A good junior sporting setup, no matter whether it's cricket, football, what the hell it is.
I've played in junior setups for years. Who families of friends. I've still got close friends from junior teams I played in as a kid. So as a community, you know, it's a stimulation for the whole core of the club, isn't it? You know.
You said my experience in other clubs, Hallam in Sheffield, where I was a member for a number of years. Friday nights, you used to have 150 juniors down at Hallam. Longridge, the same.
Yeah,
150 kids, all really loving the cricket, and you know that's what we want to see down at the Rec on a Friday night. Really is kids down there really enjoying it, and if we can get 150 down there, that'll be a miracle. But that's what we should be aiming for.
Absolutely, and as I said, we will as a club. As president of the club now, this is close to my heart. We will progress. We will not stand still. We will progress forward, and the juniors, as you say, Elliot, will be at the heart of that moving forward, and they have to be. And we will continue to provide that platform for the kids of Waltley Dale, as well as the adults of Waltley Dale, to have access to cricket in the community there. So. Now, well done to everybody involved in the juniors, and that will continue into this season.
And a quick note on the Pete Ingham's like the work that he's put into that junior side himself and Fiona. They do a fantastic job with that junior setup. And then last season with Harry, he had a lot to do with it, and Beth. And then this year, hopefully, Zav takes over the reins and helps some kids develop, because he's aspiring coach as well, isn't he? So
yeah, he's been I think coaching an under-13 team down in Oz and doing some one-to-one coaching as well. So I'm sure the kids will just pick up where Harry left off, and he'll be able to help bring the kids through just as much. So yeah, absolutely. We're going to finish just really with thank you to sponsors. Really, as you can see over that shoulder there we go. That is our new match shirt for this season. We lost our main sponsor actually just before the start of last season. So we reached out over the winter to get a new main club sponsor, and thankfully Feed the Beast Vehicle Detailing make all sorts of car cleaning and car valeting products, and they've stepped in and will be our main club sponsor for the next 3 years. And I think the logo looks absolutely spiffing on the new match shirts. Looks absolutely terrific. So we thank them very much for their kind sponsorship and their support. Hopefully we'll be handing a shirt over to Nat from Feed the Beast over the next couple of weeks, and we'll get a photo opportunity done on that. So absolutely wonderful. We'll go on to thank the rest, because it's been a real busy winter.
Sorry, can I just point out that Feed the Beast isn't an instruction to give Brian Wells a McDonald's before a cricket game? Is
that what it is?
It's not. No, it's not.
No? Oh, right.
No,
okay.
No.
I'm sure he would see it as such anyway.
He'd accept it.
Oh,
Does Ryan?
Yeah, I'm going to say you might as well apologise now. It's been a terrific close season for sponsorship. So off the back of that, we've also got a new, as you can see, we've gone with Surridge as our new kit supplier as well. We've got a new bespoke T20 stroke coloured clothing shirt, which will be applied for both juniors and seniors. They are coming in around about, I think, 3-4 weeks. And yeah, that's been sponsored very kindly by Bob Simmons, MTS Logistics Solutions, and he's very kindly stepped in to sponsor that. In addition to that, we've also got sleeve sponsors on this shirt. Kendall Slisters, Imran Hussain, moving up from sponsoring balls last season. He's now put a bit more money into the coffers, and he's got a sleeve sponsorship on the match shirt. And also FIS 360 have continued and are extended their sponsorship of the junior shirts. So we thank Frank and everybody at FIS 360 for their sponsorship of the juniors. Couple more. Hosemaster, Ryan's mum and dad's company, have stepped up their sponsorship and increased that, and are now sponsoring the live streams. They're the new live stream sponsor, so you'll be seeing the Hosemaster logo splattered all over the live streams every Saturday, or well, every home game, should I say? And then just this week, we have managed to get a sponsor for our Performance of the Week, Player of the Week award, which will now be sponsored by the Garden Terrace Coffee House in Leyland, who have very kindly offered a weekly prize of a free hot or cold drink for every winner. So that just makes it nice that we've actually got a prize for a winner rather than just a nice photo on social media.
It's round the corner from my house as well.
Oh, he's very much walking distance from your house. So yeah.
Not below with it.
You're going to put a performance in now, exactly. So the last one that we want to touch on, which is, again, will be on the sleeve of both the white shirt and the bespoke shirt, is we have now got a charity partner, which is St Catherine's Hospice. We will be hoping to do a couple of things with them in terms of donations, a couple of fundraising efforts to work with them. But their logo will appear on both shirts this year as our official charity partner, which is something that I think is important to support for any sports organisation. But for us, I felt it was good to partner with St Catherine's. So yeah, it's been a busy winter from that point of view, and we can only thank everybody who's supporting the club. As I said before, we want to progress, and we can't do that without sponsors and partners of every shape or form. So we thank everybody jointly on that, and also the remaining sponsors from last season, Wilds, Masses, if they carry on sponsoring us. Big thanks to everybody from that point of view. Anything else from you two?
I'm actually hoping to trap up at Nets tomorrow night, Neil. I haven't been able to get there this season for a couple of reasons, mainly but the 6 o'clock Nets start isn't good for me with work. But I'm also carrying a couple of injuries. I'm off for an X-ray tomorrow on my knee, so I apologise I've not been there. But I'm hoping to get there tomorrow night, not necessarily to take part in Nets, but to bring my ball sack and do the latest one of the club draw.
The famous Tailforth ball sack is making.
Yeah. So those who haven't paid out yet, I will sort out after tomorrow's draw, because I know there's some of you wanting your money. But we'll do the next draw tomorrow night, and perhaps this is an opportunity to say we will start again. I think April is
first month, yeah.
The first month of the draw. So if anyone wants to join, just let us know. We've got a lot more lads signed on. Please join. We didn't make an awful lot of money last year, but hopefully it will be a stepping stone for more members. The more we have, the more money we make for the club. Simple as that.
Absolutely. So get involved in the 100 Club. It's always fun to see Tony McGennity winning it month on month.
Every sodding week.
Every time it's another McGennity. But anyway, there you go.
I think you've been at the odd time, Turner, haven't you?
Once.
Yeah, I thought so.
You've not paid me either.
You're lying, sod.
Hellfire, that's
we're in the Village Cup.
Oh,
good point, that man.
Yeah,
Excellent point. Yes, we have entered the National Village Cup for the first time ever and have been drawn at home to
Treacle miners. We've got treacle miners.
Treacle miners? What are you going on
Sabden
about?
treacle miners.
Is that what they call them?
It's my neck of the woods, Neil. Treacle
All
miners.
right, treacle miners.
Treacle miners at Sabden.
Treacle mines in Sabden. Yeah, oh, God. I'm not even going to get involved in that. Anyway, we're playing Sabden and we've just got to arrange a date. But, we play Sabden, who are a midweek team. Don't play Saturday cricket, but we'll be welcoming them to the Rec sometime either late April, early May. National Village Cup, we got to mention live on stream at Lords when they were doing the draw. So hopefully we'll, if we can turn a decent side out, we may be progressing in that and having a few trips around the country and progressing a little bit further. So first team are in that. So Danny will be leading them in.
Is it Woodhouses or Fold in the next?
It's Woodhouses or I can't remember who Woodhouses are playing.
I think it's Foldridge.
So
yeah.
I don't know any of them, but just stick us a team in front of us and we'll try and beat.
Woodhouses had Warren Egg playing for him a few years ago, didn't they? They were throwing money round left, right, and centre.
I know. I remember seeing them at Longridge and the.
Has he covered his microphone?
Yeah, probably.
Sorry, I said Woodhouses played at Longridge about 5-6 years ago. I beat Longridge comprehensively, but Warren Hegg was playing and one or two others. But I don't think they're the same team now. Foldridge is overcome. We're nice little ground, a bit like that on the slope.
Is that what your laptop's on a slope?
That's a bottle of wine that just had.
No comment.
It's about like that. So,
fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be good to see what we can do in the competition. We've not entered it with any seriousness. I think, Danny. It's more, you know what I mean. I'm not.
If we
can do.
If we're turning up on a Sunday, we're turning up to win. We're not.
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
You know me. I'm too competitive to just turn up and.
But I don't think we're going in with any expectation.
No, we'll just go in and use it for.
Lords, here we come.
Lords, here we come. If we get to Lords, God forbid, what state Lords? Yeah. Anyway, I don't think there's an awful lot else. That's certainly the rest of my agenda. So nothing else from you two?
No, happy.
Excellent. Well, thank you both for your attendance and your comments. It's a season that I think we've got high hopes for again.
13th of April, first friendly game.
Absolutely, 13th of April, away at Longridge for a mix. Mostly first team.
The first team on the Saturday, and then we're hoping for the seconds and thirds on the Sunday. But we're going to see what the ground looks like. Yeah. The weather's
if anybody else has got availability to host a second/third team from ourselves, appropriate level of anywhere between 3 and 6.
Either on the 13th or the 14th.
Either 13th or the 14th, absolutely. Give us a shout. We could do with another friendly for our second/third team. So anybody who might have availability at their ground, give us a shout on that one. But other than that, I think that's about it. So fingers crossed, gents. Better weather.
Yeah.
Good performances and plenty to crow about. So thanks again, guys. Thanks everybody for watching. We've had a couple of contributions, which is nice to see in the chat. People following us, and I think the live streams have done well from that point of view. And to the question of which players will be playing in which team,
I don't know yet.
Not a chance of finding that out at this point. So
our selection committee is meeting next Friday for a meeting. So we'll know more by then.
There you go.
Was that an interesting party by any chance?
An interested what?
Was it an interested party?
I have no idea. I have no idea who that person is. So they'll just have to, whoever it is, they'll have to wait and see. Wait and see what Saturday the 20th of April looks like. There you go. That's when you'll know who's playing in what. Well, no, the Tuesday before that, you'll know who's playing in what team. So there you go. Right. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. This will also be watchable back on our YouTube channel. If you haven't watched it live and you're watching it recorded, thanks for coming to our YouTube channel. Give us a subscribe and like the video. That'd be kind. And hopefully we'll see you during the season again for another podcast, because we are a bit lazy with these. We should really do more. So thanks everybody for watching again, and we'll see you soon.